Welcome back to the channel, guys. Goji Boy here, and today I have a review on the SH Monsterarts Godzilla 95 Ultimate Burning version. Let's begin. So here we have our Goji out of the box. I picked this guy up back in 2018 at the peak of my Godzilla collecting. I went specifically for Comic-Con that year, and between Comic-Con and Image Anime, I was able to go ahead and snag this guy, as well as some other grails like the special color, Destroyer, excuse me, as well as the special color Space Godzilla with the Baby Godzilla figure. So I was hyped. Like, between all of that, forget it. I was super excited to be finding these guys, especially at the time. Like, forget it. So anyway, moving on. Here we have our Godzilla, looking crispy clean. His paintwork is just superb. I mean, he's got some very nice glossy blacks throughout, as well as translucent oranges just throughout the entirety of his body. So he really just looks insanely cool. And I definitely prefer this guy in comparison to the standard release, just because I want to say the standard release, all of these little plates on his back are actually white, and then from this point on, moving towards the very end, they are also white. So there's just like less orange throughout the figure in itself, and this guy kind of accomplishes all of that I want in a Heisei version of Burning Godzilla. So yeah, very nice. So moving in, we're going to start with his head. He can move it about that high, and that's in combination with his torso, so he can look significantly high up. There are some figures, Godzilla ones, SH Monsterarts, that just don't really have that ability, I want to say. So one of them being the 2000 Millennium. Like, it's just the way he is designed is just definitely more slouched over, and you can't really pose him to this degree. He has some very, very good slouching over poses, and his neck is insane, which allows you to get some nice range of movement with that in comparison to this guy. But as far as looking up, he can't really do it. But this guy successfully does so. So he can look down about that much, which is really just like a neutral pose for him, but the segmentation on it does allow for some nice range of movement. Anyway, he can open his mouth. His tongue cannot move, but very nice. Got some nice detailing. His eyes just look so good. I'm not really sure if they're being picked up by the camera, but he's got some very, very nicely detailed orange and black eyes. He's got his little Godzilla ears up top as well. So his arms can move upwards about that much, which is very good in my opinion, especially for being an older figure. Again, when comparing him to like the Millennium, I just don't think that figure's arms can move up that much. He does have rotation here as well, so you can say hello. Can't really move them backwards that much, but I would say in regards for what he's trying to accomplish, this is enough. This is sufficient. Has the rotation here as well. He's got the bicep movement, double jointed elbows, ball peg hands right there. I'm trying to be as careful as I can, just because, again, this guy is an older figure. He does have rotation at the chest, a floating piece right here at the belly, which connects towards the bottom, so he has extra movement, as you can see. His plates don't really get in the way of one another as well, which does allow you to knock out that posing very nicely. So I appreciate that. Try and move the arm upward a bit here. His legs are on ball joints, so he can move them forwards about that much, kicking out. Again, trying to be super careful here. And they can kick backwards about that much right there. He has joints at the knees so that he can get some movement. It is a little on the stiffer side, but he has that. Floating calf pieces here, rotation at the ankles, and the the foot slash ankle pivot right here. It's a little limited, but he's got it. And he's got some nice paint work at the claws right there as well. So all of that. Moving on towards the back side. As you can see, he does have some gappage problems right there, but I think that's in part for, well, being an older figure, but also necessary for on the accessories that he comes with, which we'll go over momentarily. But moving on towards the back side, plates, very nicely done. Again, nice translucent plastics to really capture the burning essence of him. And then they kind of, as it gets smaller, it's the painted oranges, but still really nice. His tail is nicely segmented as well. I would say due to the fact that he is older, it does stop short in comparison to newer figures where pretty much every segment is articulated. I want to say this guy, from not trying to manhandle him, but I want to say it kind of stops short like right here, and then this is just one whole piece, but that's okay. Every other portion of it is segmented, so you can still get some nice shapes out of it. There we go, some nice S shapes. There's that. So in regards to accessories, he actually comes with some. First off, he comes with an extra pair of hands. So these are definitely more opened out than the ones that he's currently sporting, which are just closed. So these are open. But there's that. And my favorite part, he comes with 4 little smoke pieces, which are translucent and then go into grays and whites. And these, they kind of just like stay in place, so to speak. Like they just kind of like wrap on him, or they have a little hook which is supposed to go in between the joints of the figure and therefore latch themselves onto him. So he comes with 4 of these, which go around his neck, arm, legs, and gives him that, you know, that burning impression, like he's just overheating and the smoke is coming out of his body. So they're simple, but again, I think really adds to the overall figure in capturing, you know, where he's coming from that movie, from that awesome movie. So I would say, in comparison to the standard version of this guy, the fact that between those accessories and the paint as well as translucent oranges that this guy has, he is superior. He's superior. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into a quick size comparison, which number 1, we're gonna bring in the SH Monsterarts Godzilla birth version. This is, so to speak, the base form of this Godzilla, as you can see. So let's do a side by side. Tail is the same. It's really just a matter of the paint work. But man, do they look good together. So there's that guy. We also have the 2019 King of the Monsters Burning Godzilla right here. So very different iterations of Goji in his burning form, but they're so cool. They are so cool. I mean, this guy definitely has just like more of just like the entirety of his body just coated in those oranges and reds in comparison, where this guy still has his normal skin tones and whatnot. So they are completely different, but they look awesome together. Move him aside. And the last figure that I want to compare him to is a big boy. It is the special color Destroyer. So I'm gonna slide him in here just so that you can get a sense of scale. So this is his foe in the movie, and man, they just look chef's kiss right there. They're insane. So he is quite big, as you can see. Let's put his arms down, but yeah, scaling is, I would say, perfect. Move him a little bit closer so you can get a little Look at the details, side by sides. But yeah, very, very dope figure to scale in with your Goji as well. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Godzilla 95 Ultimate Burning version, hands down, one of my favorites. I am biased because I do love the Heisei Godzilla series of movies, but nonetheless, this guy kills it. His paint work, as well as the fact that he actually comes with these smoke effects to make him look like he's coming right out the movie, is insane. I really enjoy this figure. He is on the older side, so he is gonna have, you know, some little quirks from the older molds, especially like some gappage around the legs and what have you. But honestly, just the way he looks in itself kind of makes up for that for me personally. So if you find this guy on the cheap end, I would say get him. He's dope. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. You can check out my Instagram at gojiboy93, where you're gonna find photos of this guy and a whole bunch of other figures in my collection. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thank you all so much, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.